The Regional Comprehensive Trade Agreement, also known as RCEP, has created the world's largest free trade bloc. It is expected to eliminate a range of tariffs on imports within 20 years. It also has provisions aimed at balancing its members' interests in vital sectors, such as intellectual property, telecommunications, financial services, and e-commerce. RCEP is made up of the 10 members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. The other 5 nations are China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. RCEP covers a market of 2.2 billion people, or around a third of the world's population. Its members are responsible for more than $25 trillion of global output, accounting for roughly 30% of global GDP. The deal was first tabled at the 2011 ASEAN Summit in Bali. Formal negotiations began a year later. After years of deliberation and prodded in part by the emerging economic fallout from the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the 15 nations signed the agreement on November 15, 2020. RCEP came into force on January 1, 2022 for 10 members, including Singapore, Thailand, China, and Japan. South Korea followed on February 1st and Malaysia on March 18th. Since then, the Chinese Commerce Ministry says tariffs on more than 65% of the country's trading goods with ASEAN, Australia, and New Zealand are expected to hit zero.
This reduction and removal of the various tariffs and non-tariff barriers would bring about renewed vigor in terms of countries trading with each other in the aftermath of this pandemic. It would hopefully give a good role model for the rest of the world.
Under the RCEP, more than 90% of goods traded among its members will eventually become tariff-free in 20 years from the time RCEP comes into effect. The RCEP will not only liberalize trade, but also facilitate synergy among industrial and supply chains in the Asia-Pacific region.
用 RCEP 的最主要价值在于
The RCEP is expected to further expand the regional industrial and supply chains and help its members build mutually beneficial industrial and supply chain partnerships as well as stabilize these chains. The RCEP members are expected to set high-level customs rules, inspection and quarantine norms, as well as technical standards.
创造一个新的更好的条件。
Countries hope the RCEP will help their economies rise above the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, protectionist pressure, and geopolitical conflict thanks to converted efforts to lower tariffs and boost free trade in the region. Li Jingyi, CGTN.